Welcome back to Bad Take Philly, episode number 3. How are we today, guys?
Doing good.
And stuffy.
So, we had a very eventful week as Phillies sports fans.
Ozark came out. That was
Ozark
important.
also came out.
Not a part of Philly sports, but Ozark did come out.
I would say almost more important than anything else.
If you have watched or will watch Ozark, it's fantastic.
We will be doing an Ozark review episode later.
Will we?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
part of that. Embiid's hurt.
Yeah, it's.
I
we're
came
starting with the bad
from
news.
work. I was
Yeah.
so mad, dude.
It was
like
that day, the day of the Phillies getting no hit, Embiid getting hurt, all that happening, and then the Eagles making some questionable draft picks. That was such a reality check after the day one of the draft and us going to the next round and the Phillies sweeping the Rockies. It was just.
it was a letdown.
It was a letdown.
I like day 2 of the draft.
Well, I mean,
It was day 2, right? Not day 3?
I love
Yeah, day 2. I thought it was good.
I love the Nakobe Dean pick, but
I didn't hate the center pick. I mean, I think we'll get into that
Kelsey
later.
loves him.
Yeah, Kelsey loves him. We'll go back to that, though.
Yeah.
So, are the Sixers, are they fucked? Are we done?
Yeah,
They're pretty fucked.
they were done. You got. I saw an article that Tobias or Niang can play center and we'll go small ball, but
Yeah.
come on, Paul Reed's now playing 20-something minutes. You got DeAndre Jordan now that's gonna play. You got Millsap that's gonna play. How's this gonna go?
If we
Against
can,
Bam Adebayo,
if we can somehow split in Miami, we have a chance. But then Embiid needs to come back for Game 3.
it was Phantom of the Process mask,
Yeah.
the Boston series fear.
I think Embiid should. I think Paul Reed should play more than 20 minutes.
I think
perhaps.
Embiid should have said anything about his concussion.
Maybe
I think
60.
he just should have said, "I have a broken eye, but I'm good to go," and then he was playing game 1.
I don't think we want him playing with a broken eye.
No,
I mean-
you just put the mask on. He did that in
Yeah, he
the.
did.
No, he didn't
the
like the
playoffs.
mask. He takes the mask off all the time. He puts
I
it
know,
on
but
his head.
he can still play. A concussion now, he has to sit out. So Embiid, keep your mouth shut, dude.
Well, concussion is almost like COVID at this point. You just sit out for half a
true.
week and you come back. Sort of, you get concussion as a kid, you're out for 3 months. It's crazy.
Harden's been he played well the first series. I liked what he did, but now we need him to turn into what he used to be, scoring 35 points a game. He's just not gonna put those.
This is a series. We're gonna find out if he has any of that left in
doesn't.
the tank. He doesn't.
could.
He doesn't.
He could.
He might.
He's a great playmaker, and he showed that last series. But he does not have 35, 40 points. He can't do that.
Well, what if Maxey puts up 35, 40 points? Because Maxey's
Oh.
the dog.
Next year, the dog.
Dogs can't get COVID.
That's facts.
He's not gonna do that every night.
He can do it one night.
Well, if they do it one night, we win that night, and then Embiid comes back, we're fine.
Questionable Doc Rivers call was having Embiid in the final minutes when we're up 30.
Well, Toronto had their starters in too, so I guess you just didn't want to take everyone out, and then Toronto makes some even though there's only 4 minutes left. I guess.
Up even 25, why do we need everyone?
Is this a bad take Philly conspiracy that Doc Rivers
Hates
hates
Philly and
Joel
hates Embiid.
Embiid and hurt Joel? He just punched him in the locker room and said, "You don't play next series."
Yeah, it could have happened. You never know.
Could have happened. Urban Meyer could have been teaching him how to coach. And
Yeah.
It's just every series, or every playoff run with Embiid. The first time, 2017, he had his broken face. Next year, he was sick the Toronto series, and then the year after that was the COVID year, and he didn't have Ben. Ben Simmons doesn't do anything, but it was just Embiid and no one else. That team wasn't good. And then the year after that, he had a torn meniscus against Washington. He wasn't really healthy against Atlanta. It's every series. He just has something. He can't ever stay healthy, which is disappointing. These playoff runs just.
One thing I have noticed is he's probably the most beloved player in our city right now. Maybe except for Kelsey, guys
No,
like
I would
that.
say Embiid's the most loved player.
But when Wentz got hurt, we always jumped to the injury prone conclusion, and we got to start having the conversation that Joel is just cannot stay healthy, and it's because of him. It's not because of bad luck.
It's a stupid fluke injury. He's
Yeah,
getting
that's what
elbowed in the face.
I know, but you can say that about anyone.
That's what happens when you're. How tall is he? 7 foot?
Yeah, it's
That's what
it's
happens
hard.
when you're 7 foot and you play a physical game. You're going to get
Yeah.
hurt, which it's unfortunate, but he has to play that way to be how dominant that he is. So maybe we just gotta get lucky he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, but why don't
again.
you see Giannis and Jokic like getting hurt every series, and Giannis is taking the ball up the entire court, driving every possession.
I think early on, Embiid, like, he had the knee injury coming out of college and other things. Like, it's because I think he wasn't as conditioned. He's maybe overweight. Like, he probably weighed almost 300 pounds back then. But, like, now he's finally, like, conditioned. He's in great shape. I don't know. I would say he's injury prone. Like, the thumb injury, like, it's just weird.
Those
how
are
all
both
this,
just fluky.
Yeah, like...
It's unfortunate.
But it just keeps happening to him, which is also weird. Like, I don't know. Like,
maybe he should switch his diet. I know that Giannis likes Oreos.
Yeah.
So maybe Embiid should start eating more Oreos.
And Embiid.
you could have thought like maybe this year was different. Like Embiid was playing at an MVP caliber level, and the team around him, seemed like better than most years. He brought in Harden, Maxey. He's been playing better. Tobias was playing well that Toronto series, and then it's just like such a gut punch. Like, series is like almost over before it even begins. Like, but it just sucks.
If we didn't make that trade now, the series would be 100% over. So the fact that we have a bit of a shot,
we just Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, I think that the reason everyone produced around Joel and Harden was because of Harden more than Embiid last series, because his playmaking, especially like the last 2 games of the series, was very good.
Yeah, but Embiid's drawing double teams and stuff. You're not gonna have that anymore.
I know, but
the Paul Reed double team is pretty clear.
But Harden played way more aggressive the last 2 games, especially the last game of the series. He was driving, he was like dishing it out to the corner. Danny Green missed like 3 threes in a row. And then
I mean, like, Harden's gonna have Lowry. Actually, Lowry's out game one, but he'll have Butler guarding him. Like, these are good perimeter defenders on him. So you just hope that you can get switches on to like people like Hero when he's in, maybe Duncan Robinson. Like, it's just gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough.
And Vegas would agree with you because the Sixers are now last in betting odds at plus 2,500. So I mean, if you believe,
loves underdogs.
Drop a little $10 on that. You win a pretty penny.
We'll see.
Someone turned 5 cents
Uh-huh.
into like $18,000 on a parlay.
It happens. It happens every day.
On a I think it was the Bucks game, like in the first series. They guessed the exact score and they guessed like Giannis' first bucket or something. It was something crazy.
That is crazy. Also crazy, as we've already mentioned, is the Phillies got no hit the other day, and that's coming off of a series where I'm pretty sure they got 9+ hits in every game in a 4-game series, in a sweep, and then no hit.
We did win the second game of the series.
We did win the second.
Which is nice to come back from.
And we're going for the series win today in the third game. We're 11-11 on the season, so 500 isn't bad for how we started.
Yeah, weren't they like 6-10 at one point?
Yeah. Something like that.
That's pretty good then.
So
I mean, if they win the series tonight,
that'd be great.
But just getting no hit against your arch rival still hurts.
Pretty demoralizing.
Like, you're over the luxury tax. You have all these big bats and no hits.
We have better
bats
players.
are all the same size.
Well, they're not all the same size.
They're close to the same size.
Pretty close.
Yeah, that was not a fun night.
No.
Yeah, I mean, just, I don't know. Hopefully they build off of it. Like, last night was good that they won that.
Couple home runs.
Yep.
Schwarber.
You're playing these big games against the Mets. Like, you would hope for more. Like, it's just kind of one of those nights where, like, we're going to win if, we hit a few home runs. But like you said early on, that offense isn't sustainable. Just that big, long ball, and then you don't get any runners on, like, the rest of the game. You got really nothing going.
Yeah.
So, hopefully they get more people on, more hits. Don't rely on the long ball tonight. Who's pitching tonight?
I'm not sure.
It was Gibson left. Oh, is it Afflin?
Might be Afflin.
We're going to get
facing
Scherzer.
Yeah.
We're lost the series.
So, this is almost unrelated, but, like, when Schwarber gets with the bat, why does he look like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's, like, hunched over a little bit.
He
kind of looks like my
relaxed.
grandpa who's going to go up to bat. Like, it just looks
very
like
relaxed.
It looks so strange. And, like, he's so relaxed, but he hits bombs.
Yeah, but he needs to hit more bases.
He needs to,
hits.
What's his average? Like 170?
It's low.
I think it's lower than that. I don't know.
It's pretty low average.
And Hoskins, too, his averages.
He had a hot start, then he went 1 for 15.
A hot
Common Hoskins.
series.
hot first series.
Yeah.
And
Common
then
Hoskins.
he went
down.
1 for 15 in the second series.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, I mean, our best hitters right now are Bowman, Odubel.
Margot.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
love Odubel. We love
Well,
them.
Harper's hitting very well.
Castellanos, too, has been good.
Yeah,
JT's been
Harper.
pretty good.
Listen-
I think JT's hitting 300, close to that.
Really?
I
Yeah.
think it's like 280.
And
It's not bad. I mean,
Good to go.
you never want to
Maybe
get
more
no hit,
something.
and obviously, like, there's no real excuse to get no hit, especially with our offense. But I mean, the wind was like swirling that night, and I hate to say it, but Nimmo made a couple really good catches in center field, and
I don't think he did.
I hate Brandon Nimmo.
We all hate Brandon Nimmo.
By the way, I was
I'm sure
at that
is why I
game,
fucking hate
and
him.
I just want to say that Bryce Harper lives rent free in Mets fans' minds, because it was like the 6th inning, and he was not up to bat. It was like the middle of the batting order, and they started "fuck Bryce Harper" chants, and I'm just looking at them, and I'm like, do you know who you're talking about, the reigning NL MVP? And then some guys just...
That's Mr. Harper to you.
Yeah.
Daddy Harper, if you will.
It was frustrating.
Yeah.
What wasn't frustrating, I believe, was the draft. I was
great.
so happy, especially the first round and the second round even. Like, we just had when you go on to random people's recaps of the draft who are fans of random teams and they say the Eagles had a good draft, like, you know it's good because only a couple teams actually come out and have a good draft, like the Jets, but the Eagles were definitely up there in top 3 of drafts. So it's just
Top 3 is high.
well, counting AJ Brown as like a
Draft
part of
night,
the draft, like I think we killed it.
Yeah. After the AJ Brown, like, I think Eagles fans were just living off a high for that night, because that was unbelievable.
Yeah,
like,
it
no
was.
one saw that coming, obviously.
That was crazy.
No one
Jalen
saw
Hurts
us.
is the top recruit in Philly. I want to throw that out there. It's very exciting too, because Jalen Hurts now has 2 of his better friends
Yeah.
at wide receiver, which is nice, and Quez. But
Well, if we can recruit Matthew to come play safety, because
That would be incredible.
We've
if
got-
we
we've got-
get Matthew, we're like top.
Do we have the money?
No, but like there's always you can always find them.
We can restructure the
Yeah.
contract.
the
Rams-
longer
Rams
he
find
sits
the money,
there
we
on
can find the
sign,
money.
his asking price has got to go down. And we're
Someone's gonna sign him.
like, if he wants to win, we are an attractive spot.
Yeah,
I think.
I
Maybe
mean,
not
the
this year.
Chiefs-
But next year.
yeah.
Yeah. First of all, you don't want to go to the AFC
That's true.
That is true. That's very true.
because the AFC has so many good teams, whereas the NFC, like the Eagles, are going to be probably top 5 in betting odds to win the NFC at this point. Like, there's so many bad teams.
Plus, I mean, the NFC East, like, except for Dak, like, people throwing the ball are not good. And so,
No, not at all.
That's
I
Pick
said
City.
it last episode. We are a top 3 team in the NFC. I'll say that right now. I truly believe we are.
You said
top
it last
3.
episode?
I think I mentioned it, but I'm ready to
I think
confidently say
I
we're a
think
top
now
3
we
team
are-
in the NFC.
the Rams are better,
Rams and the Bucks.
and the Bucks. The
Maybe
Packers don't have wide
Packers.
receivers. I mean, they drafted
They have
like,
a good defense,
Watson.
but-
Like, they're having a
Chris
really good
Watson's
defense.
good.
They're going to have a stud
Yeah.
defense, but the Packers might be ahead of us. But besides that, I think we have passed Dallas now. Because Dallas has a
Dallas
lot of holes.
defense is really good, but their offense has a lot of holes.
Their defense even has a lot of holes. Like their top cornerback plays wide receiver pretty much. Like he's
Yeah.
he's going to give up, especially when we play him. Like they're going to have a hard time against us. Now we also have holes at cornerback too. I
Safety.
think Zach McPherson is currently our cornerback too, which is
That's not good.
no, it's not good.
That's not good at all. I don't know why we didn't address that.
We signed a
at
corner,
We did. We signed 2 corners.
too. All right.
But undrafted free agents.
Yes,
Yeah.
we the
That's good.
Bama's cornerback too. I don't know his
We
name.
love Bama.
Oh, Josh Jobe.
Yes, we
We love
him,
Bama.
and then some other guy that was supposed to. So the other guy was like the top non-drafted cornerback. And we signed him to a monster deal, like 200 some guaranteed.
Yeah, like I'm speaking of the draft, like I'm just thinking of AJ Brown and like all the big moves, including Hollywood Brown, and just a lot of stuff happened draft night, and it's been happening like the past couple months, and like with the Devontae Adams trade, like people, the GMs and the owners and the coaches, they don't communicate with their franchise like Hall of Fame quarterbacks when they're talking about Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers signed that deal. I think it was on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah,
he said it.
He thought
With Tay like being there.
yes.
Tannehill did not know that AJ Brown was going to be traded and they were going to draft Malik Willis.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. I didn't think they thought AJ Brown was gonna be traded until like a day or before the draft, a day or 2 before the draft.
Yeah, I know, but like I don't think they didn't tell him about Malik Willis until like he saw it.
Do you think they even tried to draft Malik Willis? Because like he fell so far from where we thought he was going to go.
I don't know.
So I mean,
And then you're making Lamar like pissed off.
Well, Lamar sucks.
Yeah,
sucks.
Lamar doesn't suck.
I hate Lamar. He sucks.
I mean,
he's very ugly.
The Hollywood
Yeah.
deal, it probably did improve their team because they got a center, they got a safety.
Yeah, what you got for Hollywood was not bad. Like,
No.
I would say the Ravens won that trade. And I do like Hollywood Brown, but
I don't know. Like
But now they have Mark Andrews and
they got Bateman.
yeah, Bateman's
Bateman's
good,
a nice player. Like that's not their identity to
they
throw
have
the ball
Duvernay
around.
still?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they moved. I like Devin Duvernay too.
So like they
Pro baller.
they don't put resources in the receiver and they
He was.
invest in their O line because that's what they do best. So
who's their running back? I forget.
They have
their
J.K. Dobbins,
Dobbins.
who's hopefully going to have. I'm a big J.K. Dobbins fan. I hope he comes out and actually has a good season. Cause
I would say they signed a running back in free agency.
I think they did.
They still have.
Oh, they were talking about signing
Marvin
Melvin Gordon, but that didn't happen.
They know.
Melvin Gordon signed like a
Yeah.
$5 million deal. So cheap.
They have J.K. Dobbins. That's their guy.
Yeah, he's good.
running back.
He's a good player.
And
And
they
they've
have
Gus the
Gus the
Bus.
Bus.
Gus the Bus is
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Yeah, they're a good running team. Obviously,
Didn't they have another one though?
I'm thinking, but I can't think of who it
Tyson
is.
They had two
Williams,
that
but
got hurt before the season.
They have Hill too.
They have
some guy named
Ricard.
Hill.
At fullback.
There's another one.
So Dakota predicted in our draft. Was it prediction week or just draft special
Like a draft special.
that the Eagles would take Jordan Davis, and he was absolutely correct. So let's give a little clap for Dakota. That's good job, Dakota. And you like that pick?
Yeah. I think you saw on the Instagram my reaction. I just think it's a great fit. Like Hargrave's on a 1-year deal now, or not 1-year deal. Like last year of his deal. Fletcher's on a 1-year deal.
Mhm.
So you can bring in Jordan Davis. You can put him in on first, second down to stop the run. You bring in Hargrave on third down because he's not the best run defender. And then he can learn from Fletcher and Brandon Graham and Hargrave on how to harness his athletic ability, which he just has incredible athletic ability for his size to rush the passer. And then in a year, him and Milton Williams are just so unbelievably athletic. Like, that's your future of the D-line.
It's very exciting.
It's very exciting.
I think he could also learn from DeMonte Smith on how to eat healthier, because he is a huge man.
Devontae Smith is looks
stick.
like a vegan, and then he looks like a dinosaur who all he eats is meat.
I'm not gonna make. But yeah, he's 6'6", 360 or something, like 350. I think his playing weight. So his playing weight's
fast.
gonna be a big question mark. He's so fast. He was like the first ever person over like a certain height and over 300 pounds to run under a 5.
Crazy.
40. It was like a 4.8.
It's insane.
So that's good. But he's not really a pass rusher, as Dakota said. But he's an elite run stopper. And if he can develop even into like a decent pass rusher, he's going to be a great player.
Yeah, no, he really he wasn't asked to do that at Georgia, so I get you didn't really see that on tape, but you can bring him in, and I really think he's just too athletic. You can develop that. That's definitely within him as long as he's conditioned. He kind of takes the Embiid route of taking care of his body more. You can see how elite Jordan Davis can be here for the next 10 years. It's a great pick. One thing I was kind of seeing is listening to the radio and reading things I didn't realize it because I wasn't really looking for him, but a lot of people wanted Kyle Hamilton. I put that on the Instagram, and I think it was 35% of the people wanted Kyle Hamilton over Jordan Davis. That could be, I guess, people are trying to make that the next Jefferson, Rager, and then DK, J-Jaw. I don't see
comparable.
I mean, for people who are not really into the draft, they were just watching it. Sort of like myself, I knew the top 25 prospects. I didn't know a whole lot. And Hamilton's sitting there on was it Mel Kiper's big board or something like that?
Yeah,
he was number 4 on the big board from the very start. So when NFL's expert has someone so high, you're gonna think, oh, why is he still there? And you're thinking, oh, our team needs a safety, and our team is not a team that likes safety. We're taking Kyle Hamilton, but you said he had some questions. He ran a slow 40. I didn't realize he ran a 4.6 40, which is not the fastest.
No.
So,
Yeah, this whole talk about him being the next Derwin James is just, it's I don't know where you get that from. He had the one play against Florida. I was telling Aiden that
One
night.
play.
The one play against Florida State where he like runs all the way across the. It was a great play. Like I'm not taking it away from him. It was an incredible play. So people just take that and go, "Wow, he's elite against the run," and he just does that every game. Which he doesn't do that. He doesn't have the range that a Derwin James has. So what he's going to be is he's going to be an elite run stopper, but you can't have him playing like free safety. So why would you take a guy that can only do one thing and cannot do something else with a top 13 pick? It just like it doesn't make sense.
More like a Jamal Adams type of player.
Yeah,
then.
like
And I hate Jamal Adams, so I'm okay with it.
like he'll be great at what he does. He'll be a great run stopper, but he's not the cover player that everyone was hyping him up to be. So putting him at number 4 on the draft board, it just doesn't make sense.
He definitely could be good. All those players can be good, but I think we got a pretty safe player in Jordan Davis. I'm not a big fan of taking nose tackles in the first round, but he seems to be an exception.
I think he's going to be like
Vita Vea almost. Vita Vea is a good player.
He could well be one of the best players in the draft.
Oh yeah, if you can develop him to be a pass rusher,
That's the big thing. Like
way up there.
if he doesn't ever develop that, but he's still going to be elite. But you can find people for cheap that are good against the run, and that will sit there and go, wow, like we messed up that pick. Someone else went. Jordan Davis never became the pass rusher that we thought he could be. But if he becomes that, then he's one of the best players that comes.
What's a
in this
good
draft.
number of sacks for?
Like 6 or 7.
Okay, so that'd be like when you put him at elite with like his run stopping ability and his sacks, you like 6-7 sacks. There's a couple, but like, oh, that's good. Because I'm a big fan of Vita Vea on the Bucks. He's a big run stopper, and he plays fullback sometimes. And I'm just saying, putting Jordan Davis at fullback, I'm not.
You said this.
There are players in the league that I don't believe can tackle him.
Okay, but then there's the one player that goes for his knees and he's out for the year.
All right, but he's fast though. He can probably jump too. I'm sure the guy can jump. At least a couple inches off the ground. Just get him to get the ball and right in the goal line.
You know who
Touchdown.
You know who we should sign and put at fullback because he's fat? Debo.
The 1-2 fullback punch.
Jordan Davis and Debo end arounds.
I love it.
We could line up Jordan Davis, a quarterback, handed off to Mailata like a read option.
Who's stopping that?
Philly special
And the
B2.
person can block for him. Like, no one's stopping that shit.
JJ.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Oh, no, it's 17-0.
So then we got AJ Brown, who that was
So
the most
exciting.
exciting point of the draft.
That was one of the most exciting Eagles moments in recent
And
history.
yeah, I kind of spoiled it for these guys. I called them, but I couldn't contain the excitement that I had when Jeff read out the tweet.
Come on, Jeff.
But oh my god, I was so happy. It's the best receiver the Eagles have had since T.O.
Yeah.
He's a top 10 receiver in the league.
It's
And
the best
he's-
receiver we could have got.
Yeah, no. In the beginning of this offseason, I was hoping we signed like fucking Christian Kirk.
Yes, exactly.
Not for $20 million, but Christian Kirk, and we get AJ Brown. Like, oh my god.
Which you got him for the same price as they got Christian Kirk.
No,
right?
a little bit more.
We signed him for $25 million a year, and the deal was like 18.
I'm pretty sure the Titans offered.
I don't think it was that high.
The Titans offered AJ Brown like $20 million a year.
16.
It was only
They
16.
wanted to give him 16 a year.
What?
Wow. Okay.
So, like,
wow.
I don't blame him for wanting out.
Yeah, he
I mean,
said
like,
it's not my fault. I'm
Obviously,
just gonna-
$16 million is a lot of money, but like when you're up there and he's only 24 years old, about to be 25 pretty soon, but he's still a young player. Like, you're gonna get out of these next 4 years, that's his prime. Like, you're not gonna get like Devontae Adams in how long was his deal? 4 years. Devontae Adams in 4 years might not be. He's probably not gonna be the player he is right now. Whereas AJ Brown might be even better in 4 years.
Yeah, like the one thing about AJ Brown, I don't think it's a big thing, but like he struggled with injuries this year, so you just hope that's not like a yearly thing that he's banged up. But other than that, like I don't know how an Eagles fan you can't be excited about that. Like him and Devontae Smith, like 1-2 combos up there, one of the best in the league. Yeah.
I mean, he might get some injuries because he's one of the more physical wide receivers in the league for sure. Him and Debo are kind of like big for yards after catch, but like that's part of the job when you're a wide receiver that's almost built like a running back. Like he's gonna run people over at wide receiver, which is exciting.
He's gonna moss people. So excited.
Assuming he's healthy, just because we're also a fantasy football podcast, where is he in? Like
I don't know. It's actually hard.
It's very hard because he's one of the most efficient wide receivers in the league. That's
But
for
we
sure.
also have Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith on the other
Yes,
side of the
and
ball.
Goddard. Like,
and
taking
running
turns.
the ball.
Yeah.
so
I
much.
think he's like a mid wide receiver 2, maybe high end wide receiver 2. Because he's going to have games where he has 3 catches, but those 3 catches might go for 100 yards and a touchdown. And that's a good game in fantasy.
I wonder how trades like that work with the draft, because we kind of talked about it earlier about how like teams know what, like I think they knew they were going to trade for him before the draft a day or two.
Yes, I think so.
We saw Jalen Hurts and him working out a day before the draft.
Well, they're best friends.
No, I know, but like it's weird how like, do other teams know anything?
That's
I wonder how that works.
Do the Lions know per se? Like just a random team? Like,
I don't know. Because, like, obviously everyone else knows so much more than the public does.
I would say rumors.
That is a weird...
Like,
Yeah,
Jason Kelsey knew.
people talk.
You can tell by his reaction. Like, Jason Kelsey was faking his reaction to
Yeah.
getting A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was just very exciting. It's also crazy how stuff like that doesn't get leaked.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that we knew we were getting him before the draft started. Because we signed him, 5 minutes after we drafted, after we traded for him. So, like, we definitely knew we were getting him.
His
Had the
call with
negotiations before
Jalen
the-
Hurts was fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
All right, so we got those two. And I think one of the biggest picks, biggest boomer bust moments of the draft is drafting Nakobe Dean,
I'm excited.
83rd overall. Dakota did not want Nakobe Dean. But I don't think he can even argue that his upside is there for a late third-round player. You can try to argue if you want. Go ahead.
I mean, in the 3rd round, like, yeah, you're getting a good value for him. Like, I think the 1st round talk is nonsense. Like, you look at his film, like, he's a good blitzer. He's a good cover guy. Like, running backs coming out of the backfield, he'll be able to do that. But he's a liability against the run. Like, he's not big enough. And even in college, you see his film. When, like, guards get their hands on him, he doesn't go anywhere. So he's going to be an outside linebacker. You know, you can bring him in on 3rd down. But, like, that's what he's going to be day one. I don't expect him to be the starting middle linebacker because that's not his game. So, I just didn't want to see that. In the 2nd round, like, we have Kaiser White that can play against the pass. We have Davion Taylor that can play against the pass. We have Hassan Reddick that can blitz. And, like, TJ Edwards is your run stopper. Like, I wanted a linebacker that could stop the run. Like, we have people that can do what Nakobe Dean does. Like, Nakobe Dean could be better than Davion Taylor, but I don't know. Like, I think Davion Taylor is good enough.
Well, do you think having an elite defensive line
That'll help him.
makes up for him? Like, makes up for that?
Like, you drafted the player also that helped him have so much success in college, opening up run lanes for him. So that will help him. But, like, it's just, I don't know. And in the 3rd round, it's fine. Like,
High upside. He has high upside. I know a lot of people were saying that, like, his biggest attribute, and this man is kind of like an intangible, is just his instinct at middle linebacker. Because there was a lot of plays, watch his highlights, where he was just, like, you're like, how did he get that ball? Or how did he know to run and make that tackle? And there was this one play, this guy was running like a sweep, and he ran all the way from one side of the field to the other side of the field and made that tackle for like a 5-yard loss. Like,
I'll make up for Fletcher's heart.
not my job to cover that screen. Dean's an incredibly smart player. Like, he has good instincts, he has good speed, but
He had like 13 tackles for, 12 or 13 tackles for loss.
well, a lot of that is the defensive line. Like, you saw all those 1st-round picks on
I know,
Jordan's
but we have a
defense.
great
no, we're going to have a good
We
defensive line.
have that good defensive line, but it's harder in the NFL, too.
Yeah, for sure. But I think with a 3rd-round pick, like, how often do 3rd-round picks really pan out anyway? Like, what does it have, like a 50% hit rate? So we're risking it. And if he hits, he's going to be good. Like, he could be a...
That's true.
He'll be good rushing the passer from day one.
Hot take.
He'll be good. You can have him cover, like, the Tony Pollard in our division, Gibson, Saquon coming out of the backfield.
Yeah. Fuck Zeke.
Zeke's a bum. Zeke's a
So is
bum.
Saquon.
No, Saquon's not a
Why
bum.
is
Yeah,
he
he
a
is.
bum?
He sucks.
Saquon's
Why?
injury bum.
I hate him.
Why?
But he's actually good.
He's terrible.
Why?
He's not good.
Tell me why.
He's not good at running.
Oh my
He's
god.
not good at getting the ball and going forward. Just bad.
If you put Saquon on our team,
One
he'd
good year.
have 6 yards to carry.
Yeah.
One good
So,
year.
He's just bad at running the ball. Hot take, ate it. He's
Bad
bad,
bad
at running
take
the ball.
Bad take
He's bad at going.
Going forward.
We also skipped our center pick. So I was actually a big fan of the center pick. You guys were not. Kelsey was... the Eagles had Kelsey come in, and evaluate some of the centers for the last couple of years. And Kelsey said this was his favorite center, and he says it reminds him the most of him. And if we're getting another Jason Kelsey, or even a player a little less than Jason Kelsey, I'm more than okay with that. It helps secure the position if he's good. Like, we have 3 stud linemen for the next couple years.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to address like the absolute need of a secondary player.
Oh, for sure.
And if we could have traded up for some corners in the second, but that's fine. But we didn't take a corner in like the second. We didn't take a corner in the draft, right? We signed him after.
Yeah, we didn't take a corner. But like taking a corner in the 6th isn't really gonna fix.
No, I know, but like we didn't address that problem. I'm not complaining because the first round was awesome, so that kind of wiped over it. But we needed to address that. And again, with Kelsey saying that, I don't know how much he had to say because he was like live with someone and he knows everyone's gonna see it. Like how much. Like, I'm sure he likes the guy.
Howie talked about it, too, in his press conference. He said we brought Kelsey in, and he liked him a lot. And obviously, Kelsey isn't making a decision of who we draft, but Howie said that what they saw matched up with what Kelsey saw, which is just a little bit of reassurance that...
I don't care what Howie sees. I care what Kelsey sees.
It's just like we put so much in the O-line. Like, we drafted Driscoll, we drafted Sayamalu, we drafted Dickerson. Like, we have...
Those are all good draft picks, though.
They are. So, but I don't understand. Like, he probably will end up being a good player, but, like, you've invested so much. Like, why not let the talent that you already have? Like, I'd be fine with Sayamalu at center, Driscoll, and Dickerson. Like, that's already a really good O-line. So, why not address Zach McPherson being your starting corner? Like, that can't happen.
I think
that cannot happen.
I think we might, like, next year, I think we might not draft a single O-lineman because left tackle's secure, left guard is secure, center is now hopefully secure.
It's gotta be secure.
Right guard is secure, and right tackle is going to be Lane until I think Driscoll could even take over right tackle. Like, he's not been that bad, and he's going to have another probably 2 years to learn under Lane. So I think next year we might not take a single lineman. At least not in the first 5 rounds.
I don't know. It's Howie. Howie just loves drafting O-line.
Like,
I don't know.
Next year's going to be the end that we're going to get. We're going to get a defensive end, probably.
Yeah, we might need one with Barnett being trash.
I'm just so excited because maybe not this year. Probably not. And the only way we're going to have an elite team this year is if Jalen Hurts takes a big jump forward, which...
I don't think it has to be a huge jump.
A decent jump.
He has to be a little better than average for this team.
That's what he was last
He can't be leaving the pocket like when there's
with his legs.
Yeah, but like when it's a clean pocket, he can't just bail out and like he needs to go through his progressions.
Again, he's got the help. He's got an O-line.
Yes,
he's got an insane run game.
We need to have a 1,000-yard friggin' receiver. Maybe
like,
2.
It's on.
Like we need to have AJ Brown. Point. AJ Brown needs to get his targets. Smith needs to get his targets. Goddard needs his targets. Yeah. Like, these guys need to get... These are elite players. They need the ball.
A.J. Brown, 2 out of his 3 seasons have gone through 1,000 yards. I think the only reason he didn't was because of injuries.
Mm-hmm. And he's on a team that doesn't throw the ball a whole lot.
Yeah.
And he's going to a team that doesn't throw a ball at all, really. But we need to transition to more of a passing team if Hurts can do it. Like, the reason why we ran the ball so much last year is because Hurts can't throw the freaking ball. But even if Hurts sucks, which I hope he doesn't suck, but if he does suck, we are set up next year to either trade for a quarterback that wants out of somewhere, because it happens almost every year now. There's a quarterback that wants out, or 2.
Or 5.
Or 5, yeah. So either go get that quarterback that's a stud, and then we're looking at a Super Bowl, or we trade up and draft Stroud or
Bryce
Young.
Bryce Young looks to be right now. Like, I mean, it's still a year away, but he looks to be the number 1 consensus right now. Yeah, I mean, if like we're having this conversation next year on whether Hurts, like it's going to be him that decides whether he's here or not. Like if he plays well enough, he'll be here because he's cheap and we still have him for another year. But if he holds his team back, then yeah, we're going to be talking about drafting up for a quarterback or trading for a quarterback that wants out.
The one good thing is that like I think we all are very confident in. It's not like he's going to be the type of guy who's like lets mental things or lets like not being willing to get better get in the way, because he's one of our best leaders. Mm-hmm. He's a hard worker, and he could even like be below average and we win the division.
That's why I have so much faith in Hurts, because he seems like the type of guy that is going to work his butt off to try, even if he doesn't have that potential, like he's going to max out his potential. and become the best player that he can be, which is why I have faith in him to be a good player. A quarterback that does not have a good mental is Carson Wentz. Now, I don't know if you guys heard this or not. The Commanders head coach called Carson Wentz before they drafted their 5th-round quarterback to make sure it was okay with him.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
That Rivera still?
Yeah, Rivera. It might have been the GM. That's why I wasn't sure. But one of those guys called Carson Wentz before they drafted their 5th-round backup quarterback.
Nice.
Is it okay with you, Carson? Like,
Well, because after his 6th 3-interception game of the season, we're going to be seeing Sam Howell starting a quarterback and sitting on the bench. Like, Carson is the worst.
Overall,
he's the
is
worst.
Heineke still there? Because I
Pretty
genuinely
sure he's
would
still
rather have Heineke at quarterback.
I don't think
he
you would. Yeah.
Watching his games last year, it was horrible.
Yeah, but he likes the pylon, and like that's cool.
But like he does that like once every like 5 games.
If you watch
He can't
if
get
you
the
watch
ball
Red
carried.
Zone, he's a great quarterback. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's
Yes,
entertaining.
this is true.
and
This
he's-
is
yeah.
true.
Well, no,
he
he's
don't.
not. Because whenever like you see that, and I'm always looking, hey, he's gonna throw it to Terry McLaurin. Nope, he's not.
You know,
he's gonna throw it to
Terry
interception.
McLaurin gets zero recognition for going through like 5 quarterbacks
It's
and
supposed to be
still,
more than 5.
yeah,
I thought the number was like
so many.
14 or something. It
still
was insane.
being so good.
Yeah,
So good. He just needs a quarterback.
Case Keenum. He had Haskins. He had Alex Smith. He had Kyle Allen for a couple games.
Fitzpatrick.
He had Heineke. He had Fitzpatrick for like a
I think
quarter.
Josh McCown for a
He had
while.
Garrett Gilbert in that
Oh.
COVID
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
He's like
Mark
the
Sanchez
DeAndre
was on the team
Hopkins
at one
when
point. Like I think Mark Sanchez threw 12 passes.
Hopkins was with Houston and he had all those terrible quarterbacks. Like that's McLaurin right now.
I think McLaurin, like if he had a good quarterback, he'd be top 10 easily. But
At
because
least.
because
At
he's
least.
because he doesn't have that quarterback, he doesn't really get that. He's still considered to be a top wide receiver, but maybe not top 10 yet.
Yeah.
Which
I feel
is
so bad
a shame
for
for
him,
him. But also he's in the division, so like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like
I
keep your quarterbacks
I like
down.
him a lot.
Keep that
Yeah.
team in the mud.
I hope we, like, obviously we expect to go 2-0 against the Commanders this year, but I hope
so.
we win by like 25 each, 24 each game.
I think in the division this year, like we could go. I think our ceiling is like 5-1. Yeah, I think that's possible. I also think we could
Split
go
against
3-3 because like you never know. We always tend to struggle against the Giants for at least one game of the year. And the Giants did draft well, besides their quarterback is still stupid. But
That's always going to hold them back. Like they can have it's not like Hurts or like, Hurts is like at least Hurts is still like even though he's not
So
like
young.
he doesn't reach our expectations, but he's a top 16 quarterback in the league right now.
yeah.
Like Daniel Jones is not that. He's top 25. He's so bad.
And the
problem.
difference between us and like the Giants organization and even their fans is like if Hurts doesn't do well by week 7 next year, we hate him and like we want him out. But Daniel Jones is going into his 4th year and like they're still giving him a chance. They're still trying to build a team around him. They didn't even draft a quarterback for a backup plan this year.
No.
Like I'm okay with it, but like I would be so frustrated of just going in circles every single year.
It's like everyone else is like, all right, what can we do to win now? Like, let's get this quarterback. Let's be aggressive. And then you got the Giants that are sitting there like, oh,
for a parade for Daniel Jones.
let's take our, let's give him another year. Maybe if we draft this O lineman and we get him this good of a defense, and we draft this weapon, maybe like he just sucks. Like,
decline his 5th
then-
option,
Yeah,
though,
he
right?
did. Yeah.
And then they're gonna draft another clunky quarterback who like reminds them of Eli, and they, like that's how they draft.
Well, they have a new GM and a new head coach, so maybe they're on a new.
Yeah,
path.
Dable saving Jones campaign up in MetLife.
he's
I
a good
think-
coach.
I think Daniel
But-
Jones is on the same timeline as Hurts, as in like this is their last year. They get to prove it. Or
Yeah, but that's
you're
the
a
thing
backup
because
every
Hurts has
year.
played 1 full year.
But Hurts now has no excuses. Like he's on such a good
No,
offense.
I know.
You
I know.
put Rodgers on the offense with the best offense in the league. Like it's gonna be so electric.
Yeah.
It should be so electric. So Eagles win the division? I think
we
so.
should.
Yeah.
Because listen, we were talking before the draft. We were talking in like 2024 we could be Super Bowl contenders if we have a good couple drafts.
Uh-huh.
But like if we're already talking about winning the division like confidently and trying to make a run in the playoffs, because again the NFC is weak.
Yeah, I don't think
compared
they
to
make the
AFC.
Super Bowl, but I think we could definitely get out the wild card round.
Yeah.
Maybe if we get a good draw in
I would
in
love
the
for
divisional
Hurts.
round, maybe even win
I would
that.
love for Hurts and this team to get a couple playoff wins.
Just,
under their belt.
I'll play off him. I think it'd be a nice
Yeah.
success and a nice stepping stone
Yeah.
to next year. Because we still have holes. Our secondary
wish
is going to
we-
be ugly.
I wish we lost by like a possession in the Bucks game.
Yeah, the Bucks game was ugly. We don't want
Yeah,
that to happen
yeah.
again.
Yeah, I mean, if they sign a Honey Badger,
Yeah.
this team's gonna be looking good. It's gonna be looking really good.
It's a good time to be an Eagles fan, and it wasn't about 3 months ago, but now it is. So
No, I guess we'll talk about our predictions, but just looking at it right now, I
we'll definitely have a prediction
Might-
video.
be
We'll have lots of
ready to.
prediction
And I
videos.
don't know if I'm ready to say, but Washington might be a better team than Dallas right now.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
It
Philly.
depends on
Very
Wentz,
hot
and we
take.
hate
Yeah.
Wentz, but the roster, if you take out the quarterbacks, I think they have a better roster than Dallas.
I don't know.
The quarterback's a big part.
I
of
don't
it,
really
too.
know.
The quarterback's a very big part.
It is a big part of it, but
It's only because of, I guess.
Like Dak Prescott
don't
is
think so.
a decent amount better than any quarterback in the NFC East, but
Yeah, he is. But
and that's gonna promote that team. But
they have better receivers, they have
He's
better
top 10.
running
He's
backs,
not
they
like-
have better. Cowboys have better tight end. They have a better O line, but Washington's O line is
they're both bad. No, Dallas' O line's bad right now. That was, as of last year, yeah, it's been bad.
You have
They-
Tyrone Smith and Zach Martin. That's
Yeah,
not
but like
bad.
they had some really bad holes last year, and they did draft a tackle, I believe,
They
in
did.
the first round. But no, last year Dallas had a pretty weak O line, hence is Zeke's fall off plus ratio plus
Well,
L.
also
Plus L.
Zeke being a 2022 modern running back who after 3 years sucks.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I saw a couple stats of like Dallas's O line like went from like top, and last year they were a little below average,
Really,
which isn't
they were at
Bad.
the top for like a decade.
yeah, they were at top for a long time, but no, they're struggling at the O line. But I guess Washington doesn't really have a good O line either, so
They have a good defense. That dropped off last year, but
Really good.
I think they can make a comeback. Their defense, I don't want it to, but
They have a good
it'd
defense.
be hard to
I
imagine them
see.
better last year.
That's the thing. If I weren't like if the Eagles weren't in the NFC East, I would like be like with the Bills. Like I'm a Bills fan because they're fun. Like
Yeah,
with,
Bills
with,
are fun.
with
Bills are very
Washington,
fun.
like they're a likable team. It just sucks. I think they're a likable.
You think
they,
so?
They have Terry McLaurin. They
I like
had
Terry. I
they
like
had
Gibson.
Fitzpatrick, and they have like a fun defense. Chase Young and
Chase Young was fun.
I don't know about
Half an
half
hour.
Fitzpatrick. They had Fitzpatrick for like a game.
Quarter.
yeah, but like
Poor guy.
he was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
He was fun on Miami.
Did you see the video?
And Ron
of the-
Rivera's a likable
that was
coach,
posted
for
with
sure.
all the Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it was,
so cool.
That was
yeah,
awesome.
it's funny.
Yeah, so I think we'll obviously have a different prediction video closer to the actual season. But I think right now a good prediction would be like get to the divisional round, probably lose there to a team that's going to go to the Super Bowl, but we take those.
Playoffs is playoffs.
And 2 years from now we could be even a year from now we could be talking about our team being if everything goes right, our team could be a Super Bowl contender
Next
or
year.
even
Let's
favorite
win.
of
Let's
the
win
NFC.
back-to-back NFC's division titles.
Because even if you think about it, right, this time next year, Green Bay is going to be a question mark because you know what Rodgers is going to do. Every year
That
Rodgers
team's
is a
already a
question mark.
question mark.
Rams
Yeah.
are going to get older and older, and they're already a very old team. So the Rams might fall off.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are like a coming up team,
Yeah.
as well as who else is like
San
on the
Francisco.
rise? San Francisco could be a team on the rise,
They're
but
a question mark.
the Eagles are also a team that's
Definitely
on the rise,
question.
also a question mark with a couple possessions. But yeah, no, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Good time to be an Eagles fan. It's also a good time to like the video and subscribe because we are done for today, right?
Yeah.
We're all done. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.